Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to start class 8 science. Chapter name is metals and non-metals. There are different types of elements. At present, more than 110 elements are known to us. Around 117 or 18 elements are known. On the basis of their general properties, physical properties, they are classified into two classes, metals and non-metals. When their physical properties are different, then surely their chemical properties will also be different. Of these elements known to us, more than 24 are non-metals and the remaining are metals. Now let us understand what are physical properties. Physical properties means how it appears from outside. Physically, how is the appearance? Whenever we want something strong, we look for metals because metals are usually strong. When your construction of the house is being done, then you can see there is use of metal rods, that is the iron rods especially. Iron is a metal and metals are usually strong except few of them. Potassium, sodium, they are soft metals, but these all you will study in detail in class 10. Now let us come to the properties of metals. Metals, they are generally strong. For example, iron, aluminium, zinc, tin, copper. They are so strong that they can withstand high, or we can say heavy loads. They can withstand the weight of running railway train. They can bear the weight of the running vehicles. As you can see, the bridges, they are made up of iron. Next, what we have, why are they so strong? Why metals are so strong? Metals are that much strong because of their tensile strength. What does tensile strength mean? Tensile strength means resistance to lengthwise stress. That means it can withstand great load. Even when they are pulled in the direction of the length, then also they can withstand the weight. They can bear, सह सकता है, भारी वजन को भी ये लोग सह सकता है. You must have seen the bridges being made of iron, railway tracks, railway wagons. You can see here, in this diagram, metals have a high tensile strength. Steel cables are used to carry heavy loads. So these metals, they have got strong nature. They have got high tensile strength. As I told you earlier, exceptional case is there. Sodium and potassium, you can underline them. They are soft solids which can be cut with the knife. And mercury is a liquid under ordinary condition. Next, second property we can tell, metals, they are lustrous. That means they have shiny appearance. You have seen aluminium, iron, zinc, copper, silver, gold. All of these are lustrous. They have a luster. They have a shiny appearance. And such metals can be polished also. Next we have metals are sonorous. Sonorous means jhan se आवाज करना. When you go to the temple, when you ring the bell, when you hit the metallic bell, or when the coins are clinked, when you drop a coin, what you hear is sound, a different type of sound, that is long lasting. Jhan. It is called sonorous. Next is metals are malleable. That means metal can be beaten into thin sheets. They can be rolled into sheets. You must have seen the iron box, aluminium box, railway wagons, and many more things. They are made up of iron sheets or other metal sheets. So how is it possible? It is possible because of this nature of the metal, that they are malleable. Aluminium, iron, copper and silver can be beaten or rolled into thin sheets. That's why you are able to see the different ornaments being made of of silver and gold, and different utensils that are used in the kitchen, they are made of different metals because of this malleable nature. Then silver foil is used to decorate sweets, and aluminium foil is used to pack food stuff. All these are possible because of the nature of the metal being malleable. Malleable means they can be beaten into thin sheets. Next property is metals are ductile. Ductile means drawn into thin wires. They are flexible and then can be drawn into wires. You know, in your house electric wires are there. On the road also you can see different electric wires. The very thick one on the top, then little thick, less thicker one down. All these wires have been made by drawing them into thin wires from the metal. All these are possible because of the ductile nature of the metals. Iron, aluminium, copper, silver, gold, they can be easily drawn into wires. You must have seen bangles of silver and gold and different ornaments of silver and gold because of the ductile nature of the metal. Now you try to take some other thing other than metal. Take a piece of coal, take a piece of wood. Now try to beat them and draw them into thin wire. Can it be done? No. Because wood and coal are non-ductile. If we will beat them, we will heat them, we will try to draw them into wire, they will break down. Next property is metals are good conductors of heat. They allow heat to pass through them easily. You will study in upper class that metals have got free electrons in them, and those free electrons help them in the conduction of heat and electricity. And because of this property of metals, that they are good conductor of heat, various utensils in our house that we see that are used in kitchen for the purpose of cooking food, they are made of metals because they can easily supply heat. When they are put on the oven, on the gas, The heat is easily supplied from the bottom to the in the upward direction towards the wall of the container utensil vessel. Suppose your frying pan was made up of cardboard, or it was made up of any other substance that does not allow heat to pass. Then would it be possible for us to cook anything, to fry anything? No. Instead, that thing would only start burning. So metals are good conductors of heat. They allow heat to pass through them easily. Next we have got metals are good conductors of electricity. That means they allow electric current to pass through them. As I told you earlier, they have free electrons in them and that help in the conduction of electricity. And so electricity can be transmitted from one place to another through the help of these metal wires. And usually we have copper or aluminium being used in the wire. Silver is the best conductor of electricity, but it is very costly. Therefore, silver is not used in the wire. It is not used to make electric wire. In our house that we see the wiring, if you take a small part of it and remove the insulator from the outside, the plastic part, you will see inside that is copper, or if it is whitish, that it is aluminium. We cannot use rope, we cannot use nylon, we cannot use plastic for conduction of electricity. We cannot use any other substance to conduct electricity except metals. So metals are good conductors of electricity. Now we will see the properties of non-metals. Non-metals, they are just the opposite of metals. So metals were lustrous, or metals are lustrous, non-metals are non-lustrous, or they are lusterless or dull. But exceptional case is there, graphite and iodine. You can underline them. Graphite and iodine, they are exceptional case. We had seen that the metals are ductile. They can be drawn into thin wires. Non-metals are non-ductile. If you will try to heat them, beat them, you will try to draw them into wire, they will break down. Non-metals are non-malleable. They cannot be beaten into and drawn into thin sheets. Non-malleable. Non-ductile, you understood? Non-malleable. Then these are non-sonorous. The peculiar type of sound that is being produced by metal, that kind of sound is not produced by the non-metals. Metals are good conductors of electricity, non-metals are bad conductors of electricity, except graphite. Metals are good conductor of heat, they allow heat to pass through them, non-metals do not allow heat to pass through them. Of the 24 non-metals known today, 12 are solid. Example is carbon, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, iodine, etc. One is liquid, that is bromine. The only non-metal that is liquid, that is bromine. And the remaining 11, they are gases. Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, helium, neon, argon under ordinary conditions. Now we have been told here to perform an activity to know that graphite, although being a non-metal, it is a good conductor of electricity. For this, what we will do? We will take from the market like this plastic one case. In that we will put the battery, as we can see here. this type of battery. Actually these are the single one we call cell. In science we call this one as cell, and this is another cell. Together we can call them as battery. And then one end of this one we will connect with a wire to the one end of a bulb. Another one we will connect with the help of a wire to the end of a pencil piece, which is sharpened at both the ends. We will wrap it here. The other end of the pencil again we will wrap with the help of a wire and that end of the other end of that wire will connect with the other end of the bulb, and we will see that the bulb starts glowing. Now if you want to test for any other substance whether it is a good conductor or bad conductor, instead of pencil you can take the same thing, and if the bulb glows it is a good conductor, if the bulb doesn't glow it is a bad conductor. So we have finished this part, that is called the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Remaining part we will see another day.